everybody, it's Christine up today with the Flavors of the Month kit from the ScrapRoom, and I am using the Heidi Swapp page kit. So you can see this is some really cool paper. I wanted to take it another step further and make it even more unique. So I have cut off the bottom green lines, and now I am turning this part that looks like a sunset into a sunburst, for lack of a better word, to use on the layout. Not the word combination there is not great, but you know what I mean if you're a scrapbooker. So you can see I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best spot to cut things. There's not like any real great measurements here, but certainly feel free to pause it and replicate accordingly. I'm just lining things up and trimming, and then I'm going to put it back together on my layout. So I mostly picked this page kit to do first because I just liked it. I liked the colors. I always enjoy some Heidi Swapp, and so one to work with. So what I do want to mention is that I have the patterned paper kit in here as well, and I also have the embellishment kit. So I am working with some additional pieces from what you may have if you have just the Flavors of the Month kit. So do keep that in mind. If you're seeing something that you're like, what? I don't have that. That is why. But this paper is available and definitely a fun one to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this onto some white cardstock. And then I am going to pull up the edges a little bit to distress it. But first I'm just going to get it on there. And that is why pulling up the edges is why I put it onto white cardstock. So just as a reminder, this page kit comes with this kit comes with 4 page kits, including 3 patterned papers, cardstock, and some embellishments. And so you get 4 separate collections. I won't say necessarily always from 4 different companies. Sometimes there's 2 from one company, but it's still 2 different collections from that company. And so this is what you are seeing me working with. Additionally, you can add on patterned paper, which gives you 2 more to coordinate with each page kit, and embellishment kit, and cardstock kit, and so many other things. So there's lots of options to go beyond. So now while I was talking, you could see I pulled up the edges and see how cool that looks. So just taking this paper that was already really unique and doing something different with it. And that is really where I get my joy in scrapbooking, just figuring out different things to do. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the bottom here. I didn't think I necessarily wanted this on the bottom just because it kind of looks like water, but I like the way it looks better than anything else. So I'm going to just roll with it. Obviously the whole thing is, at least I assume, meant to look like the sun coming up over the ocean, or a lake or whatever. That has nothing to do with my picture, but my picture looked good with the colors and needed to be scrapbooked. So we're just making it a kind of generic layout in that respect. So I'm going to go ahead and mount my picture onto this ledger looking paper. Using that as a photo mat, and just using that because it has a little bit more than just plain old white cardstock. And I have it. White cardstock would work just as well there. So I'm going to pop that up, especially because I've already got those layers pulled up. I want it to be, it's not going to lay flat no matter what I do, unless I flatten the whole layout back up or back down, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So making sure I have some 3D adhesive to pop up my picture. And so what I'm going to use this for is to just talk a little bit about something that I enjoy doing with my husband and a place that we enjoy going together on a regular basis. And that is to a restaurant locally that has just kind of become one of our places that we go to. And so I thought that was a good story to tell. As you have a picture that maybe you could go any direction with, thinking of some things that maybe you want to remember down the road that you might forget is a good way to go. And so it happened that this picture was also at that restaurant. And so it was a good reminder to tell that story as well. So I'm just using different pieces, from stickers to ephemera to puffy stickers, to build in some layers. I'm going to build in my title. Definitely struggled a little bit to figure out title placement and where to put it, but ended up landing on the left-hand side here in just a moment. One quick tip for you here: when you have stickers like this that are on that nice clear acetate background, easy to cut apart and move around and check out before you start placing them. Just makes it a little more foolproof. I don't know if fool is quite the right word for scrapbooking, but design proof, error proof, I don't know. But it's something that I do a lot because it just allows me to move things around before I'm ready to stick them on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is stick some of these circle stickers in, just kind of playing with trying to figure out how to embellish, really, and creating some interest all around the picture and title. Then I'm going to add on some hearts. I've got both hearts from that sticker sheet and from the puffy stickers that I can use. Of course, I can always, if I needed more, use a heart punch as well. So there you can see I've got a whole bunch of hearts, a whole bunch of just little details, adding in little tiny pieces all around it. Because the background is busy, because the background is big, I don't want to do too much on the embellishing because it will just get to be too much. At some point you're too busy. And so I'm kind of at the point now where I stop and look at things and see if there's anything additional I want to add. Now, I am going to do something today that you don't see me do on camera a lot. I usually do it off camera at the very end, even after I've taken my picture, so that I can keep my stories a little more private. But I decided to show you, especially because the lines in the paper worked really well for this. I'm going to do a long or tall vertical strip of journaling. And so I drew lines on there first within the lines. I drew on there with a pencil. So like on that light pink there, I've got multiple lines with pencil that are very light. And then I'm going to go back and erase those after I write on this with my pen. But this paper just really lended itself to some unique journaling. And quite honestly, you could almost feel guilty if you don't do a lot of journaling on a Heidi Swapp layout, since that's pretty much like her main thing and main emphasis a lot of times is doing journaling. So I wanted to make that a part of this video today. So there you have it, a somewhat simple but a little complicated without being over the top layout using this month's Flavors of the Month kit from the ScrapRoom. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, and we will see you again next time.